turn this off. Hi everyone, it is April 10th, 2020. The world's in a weird spot where everyone's in quarantine right now because of the coronavirus. It's an interesting time to be alive. I'm going to take a moment to center myself, ground, and call in some affirmations and invocations, and then I think I'm going to see where it goes from there. But I was hoping to offer everyone a channeling of some sort, if that's what comes out organically. So let's see what happens. I call in divine crystalline light into every cell in my being. May all my cells collectively emanate this beautiful, beautiful, high frequency crystalline light all together now. I call in my highest self, who is always with me now as we have integrated. I say that she lead if she feels right to say anything this evening. I think this channeling, I'm going to go ahead and keep my eyes closed. That feels right. I'll shake some stuff out, move my body around a little bit, and then center and open the gateway for a message, if that's what happens. First thing that came to mind is you are divine light. You are divine light. You are divine light. We are a collective divine light as we rise to the higher densities and realities that this timeline is offering us. This awakening and ascension timeline that, with rather heavy polarization, the world is very conflicted, misinformed, or seemingly misinformed. Everyone is trying to seek the answers right now. I feel that. Everyone's waiting for a sign or some news, some good news. Everyone's at home with a little extra time, and we are taking these moments to try and contact you, try and talk to you through your synchronicities, through what you are drawn to do, what your intuition is drawing you to do right now. We are trying to push everyone back into their heart space quickly. This is the place that you will experience, and everyone will experience, sanctuary in your inner reality, that which you do not know the capabilities, the full capabilities of yet. You've only heard key words like ascended masters and angels and God. Your legends and your pasts serve great insight, though they are very abstract and symbolic in nature. For now you have evolved, and we have a much more broad spectrum of language. So in that way, when you read the Bible or hear of teachings and legends, they might seem too dreamy or too plain and simple to understand the mechanics of what was happening back then to people, right? These magical, mysterious, soul incarnate things that were happening to chosen people on their own timeline. A timeline, a fractal within a fractal within a fractal, and each of those fractals grows bigger, right? As history continues to repeat itself in this evolutionary cycle. The build and the breakdown. The build and the breakdown. Going towards the light and back to the dark for a little bit for contrast, and then towards the light and then back to the dark in this cycle that we've seen. Cycle very much connected to what surrounds you, the constellations that surround you. Everyone moving in unison towards this like greater and even more vibrant and full of light and photons as we just pass through this like high vibrational space that rings. And beings that have been working with you since Earth has been here, since you have been here. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Jewish faith, Christian faith, so many different versions of the same kind of happening when you move to the light, right? When you move more towards the light, and even though you might not be completely aware that you're in that state or frame of mind where the light is closer to you, maybe you see things, maybe you hear things, maybe you remember dreams more vividly, as the universe and all of the reality around you starts to speak to you in this like cryptic code that only you can crack. And then you try to explain it to somebody else, right? And they're like, yeah, okay. When you feel something is true for you, it brings you back home. It brings you to your center. It speaks to all the versions of you that are around you constantly that you maybe only get snippets of to glance at, or that, you only see every so often, or maybe you never see them. Maybe you hear them. Maybe you feel them. Something that surrounds you and tries to speak to you in your own intrinsic, innate language. So are you listening? You take this time to slow down. Are you going to reach out into your reality and say, I don't like this. This is not working for me. It's messy out there. There is no joke. It's very messy out there. And there's a lot to focus on. We don't know what storyline is actually happening here in the third dimension, speaking from but from here, and when you pull back your mind and you set everything down, set it down quickly like a toddler, back into your heart, and give yourself like a big embrace and love, and feel what it is to be fully in your presence and feel other versions of yourself connect into maybe the spiritual part of yourself that you haven't in a long time, or you maybe haven't had the chance to do so because you're working and life is really busy. But now life has kind of come to a halt. And so we don't speak of the darker agenda that's happening, because we are the light, and we have promised all around this bubble right here that we are going to have faith and hold our truth and stick right by the message that we've been getting, which is to trust your internal broadcast. For Amber, myself, that means to trust the light and the ways of the light. And I haven't been shown fully what that moment would actually look like, but I know in my heart that it's coming and that everything is so okay because everyone in this boat right here knows that she was made for a divine purpose and a divine timeline, a divine incarnation. And there is a surrender that comes with that I've been preparing for 2 years as I've integrated these beautiful, mysterious energies into my life and understood their language a little more and started to remember other things from other timelines and how that was true to me, my own truths. So we are all here in this time and space. Here comes the affirmations. We are all here in this time and space to collectively shine our divine lights. That means we are going to hold the vibrational frequency of love as we fall back into our heart space, heart, brain. It is a surrender. It is a faith, a living bravery to look at the world around you and see so much uncertainty and suffering, and to feel so much divinity within yourself and paradise within yourself. It is a surrender to fall back and say, everything's okay. I know it is because I'm here. I'm here. Why else would I be here? That's a living bravery. That's a lot of fucking confidence. It's a ballsy statement. Idealistic to some. But time is now for these internal compasses that we all have to become fully functional as we decide to ask the right questions to all the beautiful connections that we have within ourselves. You are everything, and everything is you. So now, like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What reality do you want to experience? As a collected and connected community of infinite beings, we are so powerful. We don't know how powerful we are yet. It's the surrender first and then the power after, right? So, we live in our faith. We live in our faith that from moment to moment, we are divinely guided. From moment to moment, we are divinely loved by ourselves and everything that we are connected into. We have so much immense faith that the humanity that we are here on this earth, as well as all the beautiful other beings in this universe, are all flowing together during this time for a unique purpose, a divine purpose. We have faith and confidence, and we move forward with this living bravery in our pocket as we hold our head high and walk straight into the fucking flames and say, everything's okay. And then all of a sudden, it was okay. And that is how the phoenix is born. That's funny. No, I just got this like vision of a phoenix rising from the fire. And that's truly, truly, truly like all this condensed energy that we're experiencing at this time. Sometimes it takes a lot of pressure to make a diamond. And that is the potential, that crystalline potential. So time goes on. Does it? Yes. And we experience more moments, and some of them might be uncomfortable. This is the time of the gray, when these contrasts come together and mix, and it is hard to see through the dualities of right and wrong, and black and white, and light and dark. It's hard to see through that. So you're just sitting here in this smog of uncertainty, like, what do I do? My ego says I need to know what to do next. But I think almost that's what this period of contrast is allowing us to dissolve dualism the right, the wrong, black, white, dark, light. If everything is one, then everything deserves love. And that is how everything rises. And we rise all together as one. Back to source. That it would come in waves, but that you're all gonna move with it. And it's been happening for a long time, this process, and now it's accelerated. And it's built this big bubble of pressure around and in the earth. And we're reacting to that. And we're changing. So we're all going to change. We need to be open to what that change looks like. And we can only be open to what that change looks like if we have faith, an immense amount of faith. That you are all powerful, and we are all powerful. And we create, and we find peace, and love, and warmth, and new colors, and new flowers, and new animals. And we hold this vision all together. Pray together, we hold the vision, we alchemize our rising into this beautiful timeline where Earth is liberated and light just pours all over the plane. And that all of a sudden, if it didn't seem like it was going to be okay for a second, that gray smog lifts and we can all see each other again, but differently, because we've all been reborn like way too many times as these light codes have flown in. My spirit guide's cute, or my higher self's cute, and she's like, and aren't we lucky to be alive right now? And aren't we lucky to be alive right now? She's like so giddy and hyped. Yeah, I see you. Okay, so that felt good. I'm gonna shake that off for a second, kind of. So I haven't really personally updated any channelings or done any guided meditations, and I'm trying to kind of stay out of everyone's business and trust my internal broadcast. So I'm in my own little cocoon in some ways. And my ego has changed. I think before I was trying so hard to figure out the process that I was going through, that my ego took over it. And kind of like some good stuff really came out of that. I'm glad we did it together. But my ego no longer really needs to prove anything to anyone or save anyone, because I feel like my faith has broadened in so many ways, and I have gotten to know myself better. The multiverse Amber is very faithful and humble, and needs to be less validated these days. But before, I definitely wanted to be validated. I wanted people to feel it. I wanted to know that this was all real, but you can only do that like so many times until you're like, and your guides are like, yeah, it's real, goddammit. Like, now give it to you. So like, that's hard, you know, because that's like a lesson in self-love itself. Like, here's the most beautiful gift that life could ever have given you. It's yours, and it was made for you. What are you going to do with it? And Amber's like, I'm going to test this out. I'm going to test this theory out. I'm going to share this with people. But my sharing with people, even though a beautiful act, and you know, it is beautiful. It is beautiful to share, and we're all connected, and so I didn't see why not at the time, but then it caught up to me, and I was like, why am I constantly doing this? It's because I wanted to be closer to her, but a part of me was scared to do that, because that is so personal, and that means that I change again. Like, you go deeper and deeper inside of yourself, and you connect with yourself more. You get to know yourself more, understand more intricate things about you and your own journey. And then at some point, maybe like, you're a little scared because there's some mystery behind the journey in this lifetime. Like, it all feels very familiar, but in an evolutionary cycle. In an evolutionary cycle that I'm very sure of at this point, at least in my own path, I know this is an evolutionary cycle. When my guides came to me and awakened me in their own way, they did it very post-haste and full-on, like there was some sort of thing that I had to get ready for. This something I had to prepare for. And now I kind of realize that, like, it's this time. I was awakened in 2018, September 2018. And so now we're here, and just looking back on old channelings and journal entries where I let spirit flow through uninhibitedly, like, all those messages are so ironic and palatable for, like, right now. They're tasty. For right in this moment, they're ripe for the pickings. And I needed that. I needed that faith. I needed to be broken down a little bit. I needed to be built back up in a way that would serve me in my highest evolution possible. And so I don't feel like I'm riding by the seat of my pants anymore. Just kind of like being tugged here and there. I'm still open to following intuition, but there's a more clear and concise way that things are communicated to me, that I don't feel so pushed and shoved in directions for learning learning purposes. So hey, this is supposed to be vulnerable, right? So there is an anxiousness that like sits right here about what it looks like that moment, or is this the moment now, or it's all just the moments that I return to something that I once knew and become more capable of helping and existing peacefully on a divine plane with divine frequencies. So, okay, wait. Something that just came up. This is totally willy-nilly. I'm just flying through this. So, everyone's talking about 5G frequencies. I'm not going to conspiracy theorize. I'm just going to go straight into what I was pushed to say, which was there's nothing to fear. You can be creative and crafty about it, and you can say invocations or affirmations and or say something like, every cell in my body emanates the light of love. I am divinely protected, guided, and I don't give way to the fear that surrounds this topic. 5G. You are that powerful. You literally put a bubble around yourself and say, I control this. This is my area right here. Like something not going well in my space, I can easily alchemize that with a thought. Be creative. You could do it with a sound. You could do it with some hand gestures. You could visualize yourself in like a golden light and just have the intent behind it, the visual, and that would be enough. What does your magic look like? How are you going to protect yourself? There's really no need for protection, I don't think, but I do these things for myself because I'm creative about it. I want to have fun with the idea of uninhibited chaos, alchemy, magic. All right, so I'm going to close this off, do a few hand movements, and just wish everyone well, that everyone has so much love and light on their journeys right now, and that there's hopefully some peace and faith in between the moments of uncertainty, and that the connections that everyone is very close to right now are whispering and giving hints about how to connect best for that individual. Yeah, we're close. So